Let's go over fluid balance on CRRT. CRRT stands for Continuous Renal Replacement Therapy. It is one of my favorite therapies to run in the ICU. And everyone has a different way of how they like to do their hourly eyes and nose, but I'm going to tell you how I like to do it. And for the record, everybody has their own personal spin on this. So this is what I like to do. You can do it a different way. At the end of the day, all that matters is that your patient is getting the correct amount of fluid removed. When a provider orders CRRT for your patient, they should be ordering what they want that prescribed fluid balance to be. Do they want your patient to be I equals O? Do they want your patient to be negative 50 mils an hour, negative 100 mils an hour? For the sake of this video, let's say that the provider orders the fluid balance to be negative 100 milliliters an hour. That means in a 12-hour shift, you need to pull about 1.2 liters or 1,200 milliliters of fluid off of your patient. This is in addition to all of the fluids that are going into your patient. So for easy math's sake, let's say your patient is getting 100 milliliters of fluid on average an hour. You need to pull negative 100 milliliters of fluid an hour. This means you actually need to set the machine to pull negative 200 milliliters an hour. Nurses like to calculate this hourly and change the patient fluid removal every single hour. How I like to do it is a little bit more gentle or gradual. And I get it, they don't really teach you to do it this way in the class, but this is the way that I like to do it. I like to take a look at all of the fluids that my patient is going to be getting throughout the shift. How much are they receiving on average hourly? How many antibiotics do I have scheduled? Tube feeds, all of that. I like to add all of that up. So let's say your patient is getting about 1,200 milliliters of volume between antibiotics and all of that. Plus, you need to pull negative 100 milliliters an hour, so negative 1.2 liters. That means you need to pull 2,400 milliliters throughout your shift. That means my machine needs to run at about negative 200 milliliters an hour for 12 hours to stay on top of my fluid balance. Now, it's important to remember there's other things that come up. Fluids can get added, taken away. They could change your fluid balance. Maybe your patient is getting worse, and so you need to back off on your fluid balance. I like to do it this way versus the hourly calculation way because if your patient gets, a 500 milliliter bag of Vanco, sometimes they won't tolerate you increasing that patient fluid removal, up to 5, 6, 700. It's much easier and more gentle on our patients to do it over time. Best advice I was given for CRT was when the provider comes in, the nephrologist, and looks at your machine and looks at your eyes and nose, they don't care about how much you're pulling every single hour. They care about what's your 12-hour total, your 24-hour total. If you can think of it as more of a marathon versus a sprint, that was super helpful for me. And that is how I like to calculate CRRT fluid balance. Let me know if you have any questions.